Dave sat at his kitchen table at 2 a.m., staring at his feet. He couldn't feel the cold tile underneath them anymore. Not really. It was like his feet belonged to someone else, numb, tingly, and burning all at the same time. Some nights it felt like fire ants were crawling under his skin. Other nights it felt like nothing at all, like his feet had gone to sleep and had forgotten to wake up. Dave was 62. He used to walk 2 miles every morning with his dog Remy before work. Now he was afraid to walk to the mailbox. He'd already fallen twice in the last 6 months, and both times it happened because he couldn't feel the ground well enough to catch himself. His doctor had done the normal thing: blood work, a referral to a neurologist, a diagnosis, peripheral neuropathy. And then came the prescription pad. First, it was gabapentin. When, when that didn't work well enough, they added Lyrica. Dave took the pills every day like he was told, and for a little while, the burning eased up. But something didn't feel quite right to him. The numbness didn't get better. If anything, it slowly got worse. He still couldn't feel his feet properly. He was still stumbling. The medication was dulling the pain signal, but it wasn't fixing anything that was actually wrong with his nerves. Dave described it to his wife like this: "It's like they turned down the volume on a smoke alarm, but the house is still on fire." That sentence stuck with him because deep down, he already knew the truth. He wasn't getting better. He was just getting quieter. Dave isn't one person. He's thousands of people. Maybe it's you or someone you love. If you're dealing with neuropathy, you've probably lived some version of Dave's story. Confusing advice, medications that mask the problem, and a nagging feeling that nobody is actually looking for the reason that your nerves are struggling in the first place. That confusion is exactly what we're going to clear up today. Section 2, the lesson: masking symptoms versus improving function. Here's the piece of the puzzle that almost nobody explains clearly. There's a big difference between masking a symptom and improving function. Most of the standard neuropathy treatment plans are built around masking. That means that the goal is to make the nerve pain signal quieter. Drugs like gabapentin, Lyrica, and Cymbalta all work by interrupting how your nerves send pain signals to your brain. They calm down the alarm system. For some people, that provides real relief from the burning and shooting pain, at least for a while. But here's the catch: none of those medications repair a single damaged nerve. None of them improve blood flow to your feet. None of them fix the actual reason that your nerves are struggling to survive. They just quiet the alarm. Think about it this way. Imagine your smoke detector goes off because there's a small fire in your kitchen. You could take the batteries out of the smoke detector. The noise stops immediately, but the fire is still burning. In fact, now you can't even hear it getting worse. That is what masking does. It stops the noise, but the underlying damage keeps happening in the background, often quietly for years. Improving function is a completely different goal. Instead of how do we make the pain signal quieter, it asks a much more useful question: why are these nerves damaged in the first place? And what do they need to heal and work properly again? This is a huge shift in mindset. Nerves are living tissue. Just like a bruise or a broken bone, they need the right conditions to repair themselves. If we never create those conditions, if we only turn down the volume on the pain, the nerves keep declining. That's why so many people on neuropathy medications say the same thing. Dave said the pain may be a little bit better, but the numbness and balance problems are getting worse. Masking symptoms buys you short-term comfort. Improved function is the only path to long-term progress. Once you understand that difference, so much of the conflicting information about neuropathy treatment suddenly makes sense. Different approaches aren't actually fighting over the same goal. They're aimed at two totally different targets, one at comfort, one at repair. Hey, if this video helps to clear up some of the confusion around neuropathy treatment, do me a favor. Hit that like button, and if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and please subscribe. Tap the notification bell too, so you don't miss the next video. I'm putting out real, straightforward information on peripheral neuropathy every week, and I don't want you to miss it. Thank you. Section 3, what it actually takes to fix the underlying problem. If masking symptoms isn't the answer, what is? This is where we pivot away from short-term band-aids and quick fixes and towards the three things that nerves actually need in order to heal. A, improved circulation. Nerves are hungry. They need a steady supply of oxygen and glucose, which is really just fuel, to survive and repair themselves. Your feet and hands are the furthest points away from your heart, which means that they're the first place to suffer when the circulation isn't working well. Many people with neuropathy also have some degree of poor circulation, whether it's from diabetes, blood vessel damage, or just years of inflammation quietly narrowing the small blood vessels that feed the nerves. When circulation is poor, nerves are basically starving. No amount of pain medication can fix that. You have to physically improve blood flow to the area, so the nerves finally get the fuel and oxygen that they have been missing. This is one of the very first things that we look at because it's foundational. You cannot heal a nerve that isn't being fed. B, stimulate the nerves. Nerves are also like muscles in one important way. They respond to stimulation. If a muscle isn't used, it weakens and shrinks. Nerves can behave in a similar way. When a nerve is damaged but not stimulated properly, it struggles to recover and can continue to decline. This is why we use both mechanical stimulation and electrical stimulation as part of a real recovery plan. Mechanical stimulation might include specific movements, exercises, or hands-on techniques that activate the nerve pathways. Electrical stimulation uses gentle, targeted electrical signals to wake up the nerve and encourage it to regenerate and to communicate properly again. Think of it like resetting a stalled engine. The engine, the nerve, might still be intact, but needs the right kind of jump start to get running again. Without that stimulation, nerves often just continue to decline in silence, exactly like Dave experienced. Part C, improve the body's internal terrain. This is the most common thing that people have never heard of, and it might be the most important one. Your nerves don't exist in a vacuum. They live inside a body and an internal environment, what we call your terrain. If that terrain is inflamed, deficient in key nutrients, or overloaded with oxidative stress, your nerves have almost no chance of healing, no matter what you do. Let's break that down simply. Reducing inflammation matters because Chronic inflammation is like a slow, constant irritation to your nerves. It's hard for anything to heal in an environment that's constantly inflamed. Looking for micro deficiencies matters because the nerves need specific nutrients, certain B vitamins, minerals, and other building blocks to maintain their protective coating and function properly. Many people are quietly low in these nutrients without knowing it, and no prescription pad will ever catch that. It takes actual testing. Quenching oxidative stress matters because oxidative stress is basically like rust forming on the insides of your cells. Over time, it damages nerve tissue faster than your body can repair it. Calming that process down gives your nerves breathing room to actually recover. When you improve circulation, stimulate the nerves, and clean up the internal terrain, you're no longer just quietening an alarm. You're addressing the actual reasons the fire started in the first place. That is the real path to lasting improvement. And it's the piece that gets left out of most conversations about neuropathy treatment. Section 4, what to do next. If any part of Dave's story sounded familiar, I want you to know something important. What you're experiencing isn't something that you just have to live with, and it isn't something that a pill alone is ever going to fix. At the Chronic Conditions Center, we provide neuropathy treatment in Bethel Park, Mount Lebanon, Pittsburgh, and other communities throughout the South Hills area. Instead of guessing or reaching for another prescription, we use functional neurology and testing to find out what's exactly driving your nerve damage, not just to cover it up. If you're ready to get real answers, call us at 412-428-0008 or visit chronicpa.com to schedule an evaluation. And if you're not ready to come in just yet, that's okay too. I put together a free neuropathy nerve assessment that takes about 2 minutes to complete. It's completely free, asks you 12 simple questions, and sends your results straight to you right away. You'll find the link to the neuropathy self-assessment in the description below. You don't have to keep guessing. You don't have to keep turning down the volume on the alarm while the real problem keeps getting worse. Let's find out what's really going on, and let's actually fix it. Thanks for watching this video.